think I've touched on this a little bit before in some of my videos of how I got into organising and decluttering and all of that side of things. A few years ago I had a trauma in my life, which meant that I ended up with post-traumatic stress disorder, which of course with that comes anxiety and depression. Because of that, I got into a phase where I just wanted to keep everything, and not just my family but my belongings. I wouldn't say I became a hoarder, not like anything that you see on the TV, but there was a lot of clutter around and it was getting quite overwhelming. And so although it was like a safety thing of me wanting to keep the stuff, it was also counterproductive because I was getting overwhelmed by the mess that was around the house. And when I saw different areas of the house, it was really cluttered, and that just added to that overwhelming, and so it became kind of a vicious cycle that I'd want more stuff. So one of the days we decided to redecorate one of the rooms, and in order to redecorate the room, it was such a small room that we had to take everything out, clean it up, paint it, and then start putting everything back in. I realised that the amount of space that was in the room was so freeing, and it made me feel a lot better being in that room, and something in my brain just kind of clicked or switched or something. And so I thought, hold on a minute, let's see if this is the way to go. So I got really into looking into minimalism and different routines and different decluttering processes, and that's how I eventually came across the process that I go with now. But when I looked into the psychology of it, if you've got a house that's filled with clutter, no matter where the clutter's come from or how the process has gone to get that clutter, having the clutter around, it does get you overwhelmed. And if you've got clutter, physical clutter around, in your head you'll have mental clutter as well, and so the two are kind of fighting each other. So of course that's where the overwhelming and the anxiety comes in even more, and that's why it's so important, if you have got depression and anxiety, to not only seek help outside of the home with a counsellor or just speaking to somebody, a friend or a GP, depending on how far you are within the depression. It's also important to have your home life and your environment, whether it's your bedroom, if you share space, or whether if it is your home and you've got a husband and children, or a wife and children, or whatever your setup is. If you're in charge of your home, then to be able to declutter that environment and relieve some of the stress, making it easier to tidy, to make it less overwhelming, is really beneficial and really important. You're probably wondering, how am I going to get started on this? Well, in the description are different places where you can contact me, and there's different ways that we can work together. But ultimately, it's just by anything else, it's just taking little baby steps, doing one thing at a time and just increasing it. Or you can just do an internet search or a YouTube search and get how to get organised, and you'll find that there's a lot of information out there. Now, the reason why I decided to become a personal organiser is because when I was looking around for the different information, everybody was like, oh, throw this out, oh, throw that out, and it was all about adding to landfill. One of the triggers for my anxiety is health and well-being, and one of the biggest problems we have in the world right now is sustainability and environmental issues, animal rights issues, and all the things that go down that path. So for me, it was really important that I found different ways to get rid of my junk but not add it to landfill. There's a saying that is often shared: one's man's trash is another man's treasure. And it really is true when you look on the internet at various different places, and I've got a full list here There are so many places you can post your pictures or a description of what you have, and other people will snap it up in seconds. The only way to get rid of it is to actually share it on multiple platforms, because then you're more likely to reach the people that you're intending it for. The biggest step you will take is the jump from wanting to keep things to actually being able to say, I don't need this anymore, and then passing it on to the next person, whether it's a charity shop or one of the many websites that are available right now. Now, you can do this in different ways. You can either seek out help from others, or you can just take little baby steps. Choose the smallest room in your house which you have spend the least time in, and just start in that room, taking bits. The most important thing is to only declutter the things that you solely own. So if it's a shared item, you're not going to declutter that. That is between you and the other person that owns that item. The other important thing is not to declutter somebody else's stuff. It might be getting on your nerves, and I get it. It can be really frustrating when there is things in your house that don't belong to you and you're thinking, oh my god, just get it out of here. But that is another journey that you need to learn and need to grow and need to be on, because you wouldn't like it if somebody just turned around and threw all your stuff away. And it's the same with other people, they don't like it too. The important thing is to concentrate on you and your own belongings, and the rest of it will, I promise, fall into place at a later date. The important step that you need to take is to go, I need to do this. That's the first step. The second step is figuring out which room in the house you will be happy with, which house that you spend least time in, because that is going to have the things that you least care about. And by going through that room, it's going to be the easiest thing to do. There are many other steps, and please feel free to contact me with the information in the description below, and we can talk through how best for you in your personal, individual way to be able to declutter and organise your belongings. When I walk into different rooms in the house now, it feels good to have a fresh, airy, calm environment, which helps me when I'm going through rough patches to be able to keep myself grounded and centered, which is really important with dealing with anxiety, stress, depression, post-traumatic stress disorders, and many other mental health illnesses. Mental health is such a huge taboo subject, but I will talk about it all day, because it's important that we all share our tips and tricks to be able to get through to a healthier place. There's nothing shameful in having a mental health illness, but what is important is reaching out to others and seeking help. If you're not in a place to be able to do that, at least trying different things that have worked for different people. I don't solely say that decluttering and organise will heal you of your mental health illness, but it will help chunk, and each time that you find different chunks to help you, you can find yourself in a healthier and less triggering situation. I hope this helps you, and I hope that along with other tips and tricks that you will be able to find your healthy place. Some of the other things that I do sounds completely out there, but it's true, and a lot of people can test the same. Mindfulness, meditation, yoga, swimming, running, spending time with my friends, spending time with my family, spending time talking to others that have similar interests, taking up hobbies, drawing, listening to my favourite music, listening to calming music. There are so many things out there that can help me, but that might not help you. You need to find the things that help you, that do not harm you and do not harm others. It's really important to get the help. Decluttering and organising is actually one of the things that has been proven to help long term. I hope you are well, I hope you are safe, and I send you all positivity. See you soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I'll drop where to find me in the description below. Or if you don't mind sharing your question publicly, then feel free to drop it into the comments. Have a wonderful day. I send you love and positivity. See you soon.